Offer good August 28th through October 1st on participating products. Limit 1 coupon printed per offer. See coupon for exclusions, limitations, and expiration. Use all products as directed.
All righty, Fred Dreyer along with Michael Horn back with you. We're watching the breaking news on CNN. They've got an execution delay in Georgia, waiting for the Supreme Court to act.
Timeout on the field, huh?
Yeah, timeout on the field for this cop killer. And what's really funny, they're tying this incident, this execution, into Rick Perry. They're trying to marry the imagery between Rick Perry being pro death penalty and the insensitivity of wanting to kill somebody and not being elevated and being egalitarian and being so liberal that you will allow someone like this to live the rest of his life when he should be put to death. It's really funny. But we'll keep keep an update on this guy. So as soon as he goes out, we're going to give him a rim shot. Okay. Hopefully they dump him.
Is that what we're going to do?
I hope they dump him while we're on the air, so I can get that rim shot going.
Okay.
Senator Jim DeMint wants to jump in on this. And he has a couple of things here to say. Let's go to number 14.
This president is moving America in the wrong direction. He's made things much, much worse, and we need to minimize the damage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Minimize the damage. Number 15.
I don't think the president understands free market economics.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I don't mean to be insulting to the president.
Stop apologizing.
But everything he does is central planning right out of the textbooks of what socialism is.
That's right.
And that's a hard thing to say about an American president, but there is nothing
Don't
he's
keep
done
it a secret.
that actually encourages free enterprise, really market capitalism. He is really a venture socialist.
Well, it's
venture socialist. Wow.
Yeah, it's an interesting term. But what's interesting, if you can listen to, folks, listen to the apology that is in Mr. Could you play that again?
Can we play 15 again?
Play 15 again. Listen to the apology that's in his voice.
I don't think the president understands free market economics. And I know I don't mean to be insulting to the president, but everything he does is central planning right out of the textbooks of what socialism is. And that's a hard thing to say about an American president, but there is nothing he's done that actually encourages free enterprise, really market capitalism. He is really a venture socialist.
If somebody's suffocating, you don't throw tarps on top of them and more something to stop them from. You take everything off and let them breathe. And if the economy is suffocating, take the regulations off so that the economy can find itself and start to grow and breathe.
Well, not only that, but I say they're apologizing. You got to get rid of that tone in your voice and go after this guy. I know Frank Luntz. I was at Frank Luntz's house last week for a little get-together. Had a bunch of people over his place. And he stood up and addressed the room, and he just said, a couple of people in this room, friends of mine, really want to go after Obama, and I think this is the wrong thing to do. Of course, Frank is the wordsmith, and he's done a great job with understanding the use of words and what to say, what not to say. And he's trying to steer people down the corridor of criticism, but yet polite criticism, without going after this guy, really going after him. And I said, you don't have to go after him by raising your voice, just start telling the truth. And this is exactly what this should be done. All of the people who are running for office should be taking the stance and going right at this guy and doing it in a polite way, as a matter of fact, because it is a matter of fact. The guy is a traitor to the country, hates the country. It's clear he hates the country. And, if you listen to me, you'll know that I think he's an absolute terrorist, and this is all purposeful. And Jim DeMint is right on the money. But please don't apologize for your opinions. Let's go to 15 or 16.
The president is just sold out to big labor, to radical environmentalists, and this isn't a partisan comment. All you have to do is look at every bill he's tried to pass. They're trying to expand unionization. What they're doing to Boeing in South Carolina is just one of many examples of administration who puts union bosses before workers, before jobs. He's literally killing jobs all across the country.
The business model for this guy is to take TARP money and tell people that's going to stimulate jobs. We're going to go out and hire people, but they've got to be union. The key to this guy is that he wants everybody in the United States, 300 million people, to be on the dole of government.
But what about the Hispanic workers? A lot of them are not union, that are in business for themselves or whatever. Yet he wants jobs for the Hispanics. What about their unions? I mean, here he's falling all over himself. He can't have it both ways. But he wants the votes for the Hispanics and he wants the votes from the unions. So he's kissing the butts of both.
Yeah, and he's getting nowhere, and the economy's sinking. No one's being hired, even the government. They want to get this rail only so they can tell people that they hired 1 million people to work on this failed rail system. A rail system in this country does not work. You can't even get an Amtrak on time. I mean, they stack those things up every 15 minutes. Let's go to 17.
Anything good out of the stimulus bill?
I don't think so, because of the residual debt that we created, and the jobs were temporary. We propped up a number of states who kept teachers longer than they could afford and kept, some government workers longer than they could afford, but then we lost those jobs this year. And it's the same thing with the president's job plan now. It's temporary. We need to create some long-term fixes, fix our tax code, open up our energy supplies, put a moratorium on regulation. If that's all we did, it wouldn't cost any taxpayer money, it wouldn't increase our debt. But if people knew that's what was going to be in place, jobs would start happening tomorrow.
A very good point. All you can do something right now to stimulate jobs. You know what you do?
What?
Get rid of all government regulation on the private sector for the last 5 years. Just get rid of it. And watch what happens. That won't cost anybody any money. You just say, something, we're going to roll it back. That's all you got to do. And that would help tremendously, but they won't do it because they know the value of these regulations. A regulation is a tax,
It's true.
It is true. Let's go to 18.
There are a number of Democrats, and this is the scariest thing of all, who really believe that government spending is the major part of our economy. And that if we cut back on spending, that it's going to hurt the economy. Frankly, if we don't stop borrowing money, it's going to collapse our economy.
Exactly.
So there's just a polar opposite vision of what makes America work. And so it's hard to compromise with someone who wants to go in that direction.
Can we get this guy to run for president?
Well, I like the voice, and they should pick it up. If Michael Steele were the head of the RNC, this would go right past him. He wouldn't understand what the hell is going on.
That's it.
But we're going to have a lot of fun here deciphering all of this stuff when we come back, and just keep in mind, folks, the fun is yet to begin. Wait till we start picking out a brand new candidate.